Hello, it's Keith from Kinvert, and I've just accepted a mission to get around the Mun. So I need surface data from the science of the Mun. I actually just did that, and then they gave me the mission afterwards. And then I've also got this one to get a satellite around the Mun. And what I kind of think I want to do is get something that I land on the Mun and kind of hop back and forth between biomes and get quite a bit of science. And when I'm doing that, I'd like to be able to keep reliable communication with that craft. I've found that going around the backside of the moon is a little difficult, and so hopefully having another craft in orbit around the moon is going to help with that. So that's what I'm going to do now. First, I want to spend a bit of science here, and I want to start getting ready to actually land Kerbals, and for that I think I'm going to need heavier stuff. I'm already kind of pushing the limits a little bit. Not probably much. I'm sure there's other guys that have done way crazier things. I wouldn't even call this crazy at all, but this is what I used to get to the moon and back, and it worked, and I had some spare Delta V. Yeah, and it did its job. But I'm getting ready to land Kerbals, and that's going to be a much heavier thing, I think, to send. Let me see what the mass of this guy is 0.1 tons versus 0.84. So if I were to, just for giggles here, pop this on top, my Delta V in a vacuum goes down to 66. That's not enough to land, and that's down from 75. So it's clearly a big hit if we're going to be sending an actual Kerbal out there. So I think I'm going to need the bigger fuel systems and the bigger engines. And then I've also got to figure out what else I want to do. I think the solar is really going to matter. But I need the new big engines or this isn't going to work. So I can research that and get the parts. And I need, I believe, the fuel systems. I need the bigger tanks. So I'm going to research this and buy the parts. And landing, I'm pretty sure I'm going to need the bigger landing legs because the teeny tiny landing legs I have now just don't seem adequate. So I'm going to get this. And finally, it's tempting because I'm interested in getting better relays, but I don't really know how important they are. What I think matters more is getting better solar. So I've got to upgrade my science facility here. So we're going to do the upgrade. And let's see, do I have enough to know? I kind of want to get this more powerful too, but in the meantime, I can get the increased solar capabilities here. Purchase that. And yeah, now I think I'm ready to start building up a couple rockets. So one of them being the one that's going to go to the moon and kind of stay there. So I might as well build a reasonably good relay station of some sort. And I think that what I'm going to want is more battery, and I don't need as much fuel, so I can send up more science than I did last time. I don't need a heat shield because I plan on this staying in orbit around the moon and acting as a kind of bit of a science base and a relay station. Alright, so I'm going to start yanking some stuff off, kind of ad hoc. This is not going to land. I'm getting new solar, so I can yank this off. Take off the old solar. This will not be landing. Why did I choose this? Does this have anything that this does not? 0.05 versus 0.1. It's got Kerbo access. Reaction wheel of 0.3. No reaction wheels. It's kind of nice to have reaction wheels, although I've got one added here. Part of the reason I added this reaction wheel is because landing on the Mun takes a bit more torque. If you're coming in hot, you want to be able to adjust. Pop this back on. I might not even need this one. I might be able to get away with just... Does this have other benefits? So it's got stability assist. This has no stability assist, so I guess I'll leave this on. And then for science, one thing I don't need is a heat shield anymore. Let's get an idea for my Delta V in a vacuum. 8,100, that's plenty, beyond what I need. And I can start to actually get this quite a bit shorter. What just happened? There we go. Pop this off. And I no longer probably need a separator here. And the goal is to make something that can kind of maybe even hop around on the moon. Can I land on these tanks? If I'm like super careful, because I always am. 6 meters per second. And then what were those landing legs at? The ground, 10 meters per second. Oh, but I've got these new landing legs that go to 12. So it's possible I will keep this as a lander that can hop around to different biomes on the Mun. I've still got 8,100 delta V, which is enough to get me there and back. And it's probably enough for me to get that temporary orbit and then land on the moon. Do I need to come back? I kind of don't want to. I think I just want to start transmitting science and just get some easy victories here. So maybe I'll keep this and just make a bit of a hopper that can go along with these extra science modules. And as a matter of fact, what if I put on 3 science modules? All right, so I can ditch the current science, ditch this. All right, if I grab this guy, pop this up here, I can start to lower the center of gravity on this. Are you going to cooperate? Okay. So now we've got this goofy thing, and it's still 7,900 delta V, so I've got 3 of these guys. And I'm going to rotate these so that they're facing out. Something like this. Okay. And I guess I'll add on landing legs again, since these ones are theoretically better. I'm going to pop them on here. Can I retract? There we go. Hopefully they won't blow off. And then they're attached above, right? Yep. So they won't come off when this separates. I've still got 7,700 delta V. And there is a chance, you know, since I'm going to be hopping around up here, I might actually want more fuel. And also, since I'm going to be trying to make this into something that's going to hop around, pop that there, pop that there. Okay. 7,800 delta V. And remember, some of that would be needed to get back. I'm not planning on doing that. I just want to know that I can hop around to 3 different biomes. I'm going to get some science. And I'll go with 3 here. And 3 here. And then the reason being, I want to try to hit different altitudes at the moon, see if I'm able to do that. I don't think I need this, and then I'm going to go with temperature sensors. 3 here. 3 here. Barometric pressure. 3 there. 3 there. So now I've got plenty of science, still got a lot of delta V. Now I want to start getting solar and batteries. Since this is going to be landing on the moon, I think I should add some reaction wheels. Get myself some more torque. And I'm going to want some batteries. I'm going to add those around the periphery to keep my center of gravity a little bit lower. I can probably go with these smaller ones. Let's see, that's 0.02. 0.005, 100 charge, 400 charge. I think that what I can do is just add 3 of these and have plenty. So add these kind of low here. Alright, so now we've got some battery power. Still at 7,300 delta V. What else do I need good antennas. Which would be where? Right here. go something like this, I don't know. And then solar. Alright, so we've got 1x6, 3x2. I don't even know how big that's supposed to be. 0.004. Okay, 2.8 per second, 0.3. 2.8 versus 0.3. Why would anybody use this if it's so 0.005? Okay, so it is bigger, more heavy. I think I'm going to go with these. And I can pop them here for 3 of them. That ought to keep me with plenty of power. I think I'm getting everything here. So I've got a control on top. I've got a lot of fuel. I've got the same engines as before. I've got reaction control. I should still have structure. My decoupling should still work basically the same way it did before, except I'm not coming back to land. I don't think I need that. I mean, I don't really care about this. I think the mass is worse than the aero gains, but I don't know. I've got better landing legs. I've never seen what these do. I mean, it's then I've got solar, I've got battery. I've got relay type, right? Let's double check these are relay, so these can bounce information around. I've got that. I don't need to store experiments. I've got the goo. I've got 3 of these. Utility. I don't really feel the need to have lights. I don't need any parachutes. I think this is good. Alright, so moon. Moon Hopper 1. We'll save this. Delta V of 7,000. I think that's still just enough to get back to Kerbin. So I just get the feeling I can get a few hops out of this and just land in a few different biomes. Hopefully they're different biomes. I still don't have like KerbNet to give me a good idea. Hopefully this will help with that. I bet you this does not sense different biomes. Go back into here, see if anything supports biomes. Terrain. Terrain. Alright, so this is what I'm going to go with. Let go. Stop. Stop. Okay. I can't think of anything else that I need to do with this. The rocket is saved. I'm going to double check the mission here. See if there's anything else I want to accept. Kerbin, tourists, tourists, tourists. Alright, I don't care about any of those. Position a satellite in a specific orbit around the Mun, and that's a pretty doable orbit. Position satellite. Oh, so science data from the Mun, so I can do this one and this one. I'm going to do this one first, and then go back and do this one. Alright, with hopefully the same rocket. And I'm just in the process of preparing for landing Kerbals. Maybe what I would rather do, would I be better off landing on the moon, getting science, and then trying to see, but I have a greater risk of messing that up. The moon is tidally locked, so I could maybe, but you'd want like a really tall relay. I don't even know if it'd help, but trying to kind of relay stuff around the moon. I'm just gonna start going, and I'm gonna improvise. Okay, this should fly about the same as before. Full throttle, stability assist, and I'm going to stop talking right before I launch because of the big spike in volume coming up. So 3, 2, 1, and we're back. So I'm going to do the turn early because the upper stage before was not particularly stable. Like just above the booster stage, the part that actually gets me 99% of the way to orbit, and then I let it fall to Kerbin because I don't want the space debris. So I'm going to stage this away. And this is a relatively stable moment, so I'm going to switch over to here. Alright. Try to keep my inclination low because I don't want to sit there and try to time my inclination to inject into the moon already with an inclination. I think I'll mess it up. I'm giving full I don't know why it likes to do this. Hopefully I didn't lose too much delta V there. What do you think, that's like a 300 loss? I'm not sure. It's just really unstable. I'm going to redo this one. Alright, prepare your ears. And we're flying. So this time I'm going to try to do more of the turning with these stages and far less with the next stage. Alright, so we're ascending on the booster stages. I'm about to drop these little guys off. Kapow. And now we're riding off the bigger boosters. I do have much larger boosters now that I upgraded my science, but I just want to get some relatively affordable stuff up there. Alright, about ready to stage. No, no, no. No, 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 no. Okay, now it's starting to stabilize a bit. Not much. Okay, it's at least going back to center. It's trying to reduce its angle of attack. Alright. So I'm going to try to roll and get that. Okay. And I'm going to get this up to 125. That's one of the things I learned is when your apoaps and periaps are over 125, you can time warp around the planet quicker. That's always a welcome benefit. I think I turned a little early. I think I'm losing some delta V with my atmospheric losses here. Not as bad as flipping around though, so I'll accept it. Alright, climbing away, good enough. Turn this off, and still in the atmosphere, so I'm going to leave my solar and everything retracted. So physics warp until I'm up to 70. Oh well. I don't think this is going to cost me much being so high up. Even when I try to aero brake and do this, it does me like no good. Alright, so I'm going to keep floating around until I'm near prograde. And then I'm just going to do that moderate cheat to lock my way forward with time warp. So soon I should be going pretty close to prograde. Call that good. And yeah, now that I'm in space, I can put out the solar panels to make sure I'm not stranding myself. Same with the antennas. Wonder if there's probably action groups or whatever to do more than one of these at once. This seems pretty noobish. Extend antennas. Solar. Antenna. Alright. Looking good. Time to time warp up. This time I shouldn't run out of battery. That's a problem I had one or two videos ago or something like that. Okay. I'm gonna roll, and I'm getting reasonably good roll for having a fairly, full empty stage. Alright. Or fairly full, larger stage. Okay, so now I'm gonna start to circular. What did I do? Okay. And I need to be ready because I don't want this to go orbital. So I'm going to try to keep the periaps under 30,000. Okay, close enough. And yeah, we can see that I've got a sliver of fuel left, so that was happy with that. Alright, I can now make sure I've got no throttle and stage and engage this next engine. I don't know why I'm so nervous. Alright, there we go. 3 legs, batteries, solar, that. Triple science, I've got the I think I've got everything I need. Okay, I'm going to finish circularizing. Get this up to around 125. If I see the periapsis and apoapsis flip, that's an indicator that it's getting close. 117 to 146. Good enough for me. Good enough for government work. I'm going to now start to plan my moon orbit. I've got patched conics now, so I can set this as target. And add my maneuver node. What's my 1 degree isn't that bad. Add maneuver. Get a Holman-ish transfer going here. Right about the... Okay, so I've got to time this later. Something like that. I can focus my view on the moon. Click back on the maneuver node. Alright. Go to this. And start to mess around with it. Alright. I'd like to try to get my inclination now that I've got the maneuver node. So if I burn, I'm just going to do random things. That seems to not be helping. That seems to not be helping. I think that I would have obviously need to do this at launch, but I don't know, should I have burned up? You know, north a little, south a little. I really don't know what I should have done there. So probably what I'm going to do is just get out to the moon, do a loose circularization, and try to aim my apoaps. So let's see. That's what I kind of want to do, is get my periaps to hit there. That's what I should try to do, is try to get my periaps to hit there if I can. Alright, so that did not help. Okay, go like this. And then how do I start to raise my inclination? I mean, if I burn up, I'm going to have upward momentum, and it's not going to go down until later. But this orbit, is this orbit retrograde around the moon? This orbit might be retrograde around the moon. I might need to hit the... I think it's going around this way, and I usually go around this way. So I've got to actually burn a little more. No? I don't want to come around this way. I want to go around that way. How am I going to accomplish that? Okay, so now I'm on that side. Now I'm high and I want to be low. Alright. That's getting close. If I speed up, it's a little better. If I adjust my timing, that's better. Can I slow down? And then just do better timing and not have to do so much delta V. And that seems to be basically hitting the orbit. Now it's on the wrong inclination, but at least I'm hitting the orbit, and I might have a bit of delta V in getting that inclination. I'm kind of starting to think the easier thing to do is to just land on the moon, do my science, and then just launch and create my inclination when I don't have, 600 meters per second that I gotta then try to sit there and do a plane change on. So I think I'm gonna just try to land directly on the moon. Moon direct. Do my burn around here. I think that's way too early. Or whatever, yeah, I'm getting out there way ahead of the moon. But I can adjust that. Like this. Get it closer. Alright. Go back to my view. Okay, and now I can start to adjust my timing. Speed up a bit. Whoa. Okay, and then adjust timing. So if I do this and slow down, do this, 193 is good enough for me. Alright, so yeah, my plan is to go land on the moon and then attempt to do the orbit later. That's what I think I'm going to do. I don't really feel like calculating out how much delta V it's going to take. I think I'm just going to wing it. Alright, so now what I'm going to do you start to turn towards the maneuver node, and man, that's plenty of torque. Is it really the node happens that quick and I'm burning in that direction? That doesn't seem right to me. Because my prograde vector is so far off, but I'm going to go to my map view. Alright, let's go to... Alright, it wants to stay in that view. Okay. Let's time warp forward. Two minutes, 1 minute. Okay, it is getting out to that. And let's see, it's burn time that long? No way. Alright, I guess it is. Alright, so the resources seem good. I'm going to physics warp. Speed this up a little. Alright, start to turn over to this. Alright, ooh, 0.0. I'll take that. Alrighty, I can turn off stability assist and just start to time warp out there. So I think I want to save, you know, maybe 1,000 delta V to achieve this orbit. Why was I with red lines there? I thought I had pretty good antennas. Wait a minute. I swore that I had the maneuver correct and achieved it within 0.0, and then it, well, obviously I did something wrong here. What is it, this way I want to go to raise that? Maybe not. I mean, prograde is just gonna... I don't want to go fully like this. What about this way? That's opening the orbit a bit. Okay. And then I want to be a little higher than this. Alright. Now I can time warp in. That should have wasted a bit of my delta V. I've still got 2200. I've got like 1,000 delta V to try to land on a biome or 2 or 3. Don't overshoot the periapsis again, please. Yeah, I'm going to keep communications till this periaps burns, so that's pretty easy. Alright, let's see. So time warp's off. And yeah, that's a difficult plane change, the way I've got it right now anyway. Alright, so I need to aim retrograde. Retrograde it is. And start to burn there. Okay. So let's see here. We're gonna take a look at the orbit. That's looking okay. I've got reasonable communication, 100% strength. Okay, I don't know why I got a red for a little while. All right. I'm going to try to do more of the science from the ground than in space. So let's find a biome to land in where I'm going to... So I'm going to try to aim for this. I'm on a good spot to actually bring my periapsis down to there. And it looks like it'll be... Will it be in view of Kerbal? Is there another one that's... I kind of think I'm going to go for here. That's getting a little bit of daylight. And it's clearly in view of Kerbal. This one with that ridge, I don't think I can land there in that... I assume it's a biome. And keep communication. I don't have enough... I can't count on that satellite always being there right when I'm trying to land, although it probably will be within view. Is this one... Let's leave map view. Okay. I want to go back and check that other probe and see if it's got the relay type antennas. I wish it made that clear. Maybe it does and I didn't see it. So I'm going to go to the Space Center, the tracking station, take a look at the moon, and we're talking this guy, fly that, and just look at what sort of antennas I've got. Little junk antenna. Alright, so that is not going to relay information. So I'm going to go back to the tracking station, head back to my new probe here, hopper, fly that. And in the next episode, I am going to be landing this, hopping around, doing as much science as I can before trying to come back up and achieve that orbit and get the double whammy. So, Keith from Kinvert, doing a Kerbal Space Program playthrough, career mode, getting ready for KSP2. I'm going to be making online curriculum and in-person classes for... the in-person classes will be for kids. And, yeah, getting ready for that, so I'm going back through the game. All right, hope you guys enjoyed, and we will see you in the next one. Bye-bye. Bye.